Okay, so this video I'm going to show you how to run DeepSeek on your computer. It's not about DeepSeek. You can also run any other LLM. This is like a general video where I'll show you how to use Ollama. I'll show you multiple ways to use Ollama, multiple ways to interact with LLMs, and yeah. Okay, so if you haven't watched my previous video, I explained what an LLM is and how exactly they work. The very basic knowledge which is needed to get started with, building AI agents. This video will be on how to use those LLMs locally. Now, why is that needed? Because, as I said, I'll be making a big series on AI agents. The upcoming videos where I'll be building stuff using agents, I'll be using Ollama. I won't be using any API keys. So, what this video will cover. So, we'll be covering why you need local LLMs and what exactly are local LLMs. I also covered DeepSeek. The reason I'm including DeepSeek is because it's very popular. The model R1 is too popular. After a theoretical overview of what and why LLMs, local LLMs, what Ollama is, and stuff like that, we will cover how to interact with these local LLMs. There are like three ways to interact. One way is to simply on your terminal you tap, you chat, and that's like one way of doing it. Another way is through code. You can interact with those LLMs on your computer using code. And one more way of doing it is using web UI, and this is way too good. I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, so just before this, what is DeepSeek? A lot of buzz in this space. Everybody is losing their mind about DeepSeek. What is it, and why is it getting popular? DeepSeek is basically AI research lab from China, and they make open source LLMs, and somehow their LLMs are so good that they're breaking the market. They released DeepSeek R1, and the paper was way too good. I wrote a small blog on it. You can check that out. I discussed the DeepSeek's training pipeline. DeepSeek R1 is a reasoning model which is said to be on par with the OpenAI's O1, and this is very good because it took like around $5 million to train R1, and that's like way too less. But the most important thing here is that it is open source, so anybody can modify the LLM, anybody can build on top of that LLM, and that way this whole space will advance, and the acceleration will be even better, and that's why I feel open source is like very good. So yeah, you can check out the blog. I will leave it in my description box or in comment section. So the most important part here, which I didn't cover in my last video, which I did cover, but it was a very small, where I just told what it is, chain of thought. Your normal LLMs, they basically, as I explained in my previous video, they predict the next word, and they do it a lot of times, and you get your response. So researchers thought, how can we make this model more intelligent? So instead of predicting next word and this whole sequence of words being an answer, you can predict next word, and this whole sequence could be thought. And this thought can be a sequence of thoughts as well. And an LLM in this fashion can think. And based on these thoughts, it can give a final answer. So if you're using DeepSeek, if you're used on their website, or I'll show you in a moment where we run it locally, you'll see that it gives, when you type in any input, it gives a thought and then an answer. So any normal person who sees this, they would be shocked, because this thing is thinking and then giving. And like I told in my last video, a lot of people confuse consciousness with intelligence, and that is one reason why I ask everybody to learn a little bit background details about LLMs before getting started with agents. So yeah, now the most important, before you do anything, just ask why. So why run DeepSeek locally? Why run the models locally? Any model, so you might have heard that DeepSeek is censoring data, or DeepSeek is your privacy, your data will go to China and stuff like that. When you run a model locally, you download the whole model. It's stored in your computer, and we use some frameworks like Ollama to interact with the LLM which you downloaded. And this way, no data leaves your computer. It stays there. Nobody's having your data, so privacy is there. It's offline. You don't need internet to run, and that's not a big reason, but yeah, one of the reasons. Main most important thing why I like to run models locally is it's free. You don't need to pay for API, or there won't be any limits. And so yeah, most videos I'll be using local LLMs to build agents. And yeah, so yeah, now the whole video from now will be me showing how to download and all the models there, how to do what exactly it is, and then terminal. Once you're downloaded, so how to use it via terminal, I'll show that. Then the most important part, Python usage. How do you interact with these LLMs using code? And this is most important because we'll be building on top of this. We'll be building agent systems on top of this and Open Web UI. So your LLMs, I mean, if you have interacted with ChatGPT, the whole interface is too good. So Open Web UI provides something like that, but for Ollama. Okay, so if you come to the official Ollama website, it asks you to sign in and download. So if you click on download, you can see there's one for Mac OS. I'm currently on Linux. If it's Windows, there's a different process where you need to install some file. Same goes for Mac, but for Linux, it's a command. And if I run this command on terminal, I'll have my Ollama installed. Once that is done, you can simply come to your terminal, type in Ollama, and see if it is downloaded. If it is downloaded, that's very good. Now you can go, let me just show here, Ollama list. Shows all the local LLMs which are downloaded. I currently use DeepSeek R1 and I'll show you how I use it as my daily driver. So let's go back to the website. So this is the website. You can go to models here and you can see there's DeepSeek. There's Llama 3.3. Llama 3.3, Llama 3.2. There are a lot of models. I use DeepSeek. DeepSeek R1 is a reasoning model. As I explained, it's very good. I use the 8 billion parameter model. You can use anything, 671 billion. I don't think it'll work in my system, but yeah, we just need to copy this command. Since I use 8 billion, we need to copy this command. Go to your terminal and then just simply just type the command and run. Since I have it already downloaded, I don't need to, it won't download, but for you, it will download. So as you can see, I can just type in something and it'll give me a message. And this is the cool part. If you look here, it thinks and then it gives an answer. Let's just give a math problem. So yeah, if I type it in here, it thinks and then it answers. So you can see the thought process. And if you ask me, I personally don't even read the final answer. I read the thought process, and that's insane. The ideation is insane. It's very useful for brainstorming. And it gives you some answer, some mathematical stuff, but the most important part is this, and this is very good. In this section, I'll show you how to interact with your LLM using Python code. You can also do this using JavaScript code, but since most of the applications or most of the projects which we will be building will be in Python. Yeah, so Ollama provides some code. This code is directly taken from their documentation. I can interact with any LLM with the name, and I can pass in any prompt. So as a user, I'm asking a question. This is the prompt, and it would give me an answer. So if you go to my terminal here and I just run, there was a problem with that code, but I changed it. It does give me an answer, and this is coming from the 1 billion parameter Llama 3.2 model, and that's very cool. Now let's look into the last section of this video where we'll be talking about Open Web UI. Okay, so now let's come to Open Web UI. Open Web UI is like an interface similar to ChatGPT, and this can help you interact with all the local models which are downloaded. To download it, you just simply need to come to the repository, and you can run this command. It will install Open Web UI. Then with this command, you can run Open Web UI. And if you go to localhost 8080. So this is the interface. You can select all your models. If you look here, all of the models, and you can also create some models and give them tools. So let's discuss that. So there's one problem. Stuff like these, queries like these, they need internet search tool. And if you don't have, it won't give you answer. If you go to the official website of DeepSeek and use, they have a search functionality which you can with which you can get answers for questions like these. How do we do that here? So let's look into that. So yeah, if you come to the official documentation of OpenWeb UI, there's a section called Tools where where they have explained how to install and integrate tools with your models. So if you go to the community website, you can see there's for web search, there's for web scraping, there's for weather reporting, there's for files, there's a YouTube transcript provider. So you provide the link, it'll give you transcripts, and your LLMs can then give out summaries for YouTube videos, stuff like this. All these models are from the community. Just click on one tool. So let's just open this, and if you see, we have a lot of stuff here. There's Python code and stuff like that. So you can click on get and then import to web UI. You need to provide your URL here. Once you do that, you will be brought to this page. As you can see, you can make changes here, and that is important because you need to add your API keys, maybe for search or maybe for weather, whatever. So once you do that, click on save, confirm. That should save your tool here, and you have all your tools on your workspace. So if you go to workspace, you'll have models, knowledge prompt, knowledge for RAG, prompts, and then tools. Prompts are like system prompts which you can add. Tools, and I have web search and I have LLM search. How to add tools to your models? What do you need to do? Come to models. You can click on this plus button here. You can you will be brought to this page. You can add stuff here. You can add the model model name. You can add the base model. If you open this, you can add whatever model you have. Once you do that, select the tools which you want to add, click on save. I've already done that with my R1, and here and when you come to new chat, you can simply select that model. So I've selected R1. So if you look here, there's web search. So yeah, that was the video. So in the next video, we'll probably be going further into the series and exploring some more stuff.